started the year with an expectation that everyone was going to contribute, everyone was going to take ownership, all the way down to the parents.
Straight from the beginning, we went for it, and we said, we think we can do this, let's work for it.
You know, I think we started off this year a whole lot better than what we did last year.
Coming together as a team and just having everybody have the same goals, and just that's kind of how we're successful, is that everyone's on board, you know, driving towards the same thing day in and day out, and it's really important to us.
It was actually an extremely incredible accomplishment that we had everyone contribute at CAAs.
In past years, we could have had just 4 people just win it for us, but this year everyone did have to play a part.
Our success or our failure is going to fall not just on 1 or 2 people, it's going to be a team effort.
It really felt more like a team because we really did win the title together.
I thought that we had the potential, really, going back to that first meet, the William and Mary meet. I think that was probably the first point where the women really started to look to each other and say, hey, we can do this.
I know that myself and the team all put a lot of hard work into this year.
Confidence got really high once we had all of our dual meets.
We knew that we were going to go into those meets and we would obviously be ahead, but
I think we're always aware that, you know, dual meets are a lot different than a conference championship.
We couldn't be too confident. We knew we still had to keep doing the work.
In November this year, December, I started to see a little bit of that complacency start to slip in, and I started saying, listen, just because we're beating these teams, it does not mean that we can sit back and say, oh, it's just going to be easy.
It's kind of like a pat on the shoulder, like, okay, you know, you won this dual meet this weekend, but you're going to have to come back in on Monday and just keep training.
It was actually really exciting and rewarding knowing that our hard work finally paid off.
Typically that type of success breeds success, and the willingness to continue to do your work becomes a little bit easier. That thought of trying to win another conference championship was always in the back of their minds.
We never really swam JMU, so we didn't really have an idea of what they had.
we knew that we still hadn't swam some teams that we were going to have to swim at CAAs.
We knew from looking at paper we had a really good chance of winning, and just dual meets in general, we got really psyched for CAAs, just how well we were seeing people swimming. And
our confidence was through the roof.
Everyone was confident that we had the ability to get it done at the end of the year.
It was enjoyable. It was fun to coach again this year. This group of ladies that we had, they understood what we needed to do if we wanted to try to win again.
Notre Dame and Penn State are 2 very big, very competitive teams.
Well, you know, that was set up by design. You know, I somewhat knew what our dual meet season, how it was going to follow.
Going into those meets, we knew there was going to be a challenge.
Notre Dame and Penn State were really big meets.
We knew that Notre Dame and Penn State would be true challenges for us. And to win a conference championship, you got to be mentally tough. You got to be physically tough.
It was a little bit more about exposure and just having a different opportunity.
We also saw what we could do against really big schools, and that even though we didn't win, it boosted our confidence to see that we really can be competitive with really good teams.
We may have lost, but we still put our whole heart into it, and we did better than we ever expected.
That definitely helped us going into CAAs.
We set that schedule up with the intent of finishing the end of the season, knowing that we might lose and having that feeling of having lost, but then going into the conference meet maybe a little bit hungrier.
Definitely made us hungrier. We definitely wanted it more to prove that, hey, we might have lost this 2 meets, but that doesn't mean that we're no good.
Having that meet so close to CAAs, I think it was a little bit of a wake-up call.
I think that those 2 meets were really good tests of character for our teams.
To also feel how it feels to lose, and to be humble about winning and losing.
I know that when we came back, we all had a meeting and we were like, yeah, Penn State happened, but it's something, it happened, it's in the past, and we need to get over that and look to what's next. And what's next is our biggest meet of the year.
And maybe it even made our conference meet seem a little bit easier.
It's always that feeling of, okay, you need to buckle down, you can't ever be complacent with what you have, you know, just kind of that drive that we had at the very end, I think was really, really important.
The last couple weeks, everyone was really putting in the work and just trying to make that last spot.
In order to see that development, we needed to put them in pressure situations this year. We need to give them opportunities to compete a little bit more. And I probably did that a lot more with our freshmen.
As a freshman, we definitely wanted to come through for the upperclassmen. We wanted to show them that we're not a joke. We're real. We're here to win. We want this just as bad as you do.
The freshman class that we had come in was really, really big. And just for the majority of them to stay here and then just kind of you know, leaving the team the way that I left it, you know, I'm really proud of that, and I know that that tradition is going to keep going forward.
Amanda, you know, she really set out, I'd say, as of last spring. She set herself up and kind of put in motion, I'm going to have a great senior year. And, you know, had a fluke accident. 6 weeks, I think it was like 6, 7 weeks out from the conference meet, just walking on the pool deck, slipped, fell, hit her elbow.
It was definitely really, really hard. I think I didn't want to accept that I actually had broken my elbow at first.
They said, you're done. They said, you got 8 weeks, you're not allowed to do anything.
And I think it was probably the first time that I was a little bit happy that my coach can sometimes be a little crazy, because he was like right there with me.
Maybe that's the crazy part of us, but the two of us were like, I don't buy it. We can kick.
And he was right there with me, being like, if you want to do this, you know, we'll find a way. And that's basically what we did by working with the doctors and the trainers.
Fortunately, she went the Wednesday before. They gave her the okay. We timed her in 1 or 2 events, the Friday and Saturday before.
That last week before finally getting to swim with both arms, you know, I was just so committed to doing it. I was like, so many people have helped me, you know, I'm going to make the most of what I just put myself through the past month. And
ultimately, it came down to, I felt confident that she would be able to pull it out. I felt that no matter what, she'd swim through whatever pain she had, and she would actually get the job done.
It was crazy. Like, I couldn't even push myself out of the pool when I was at the meet, or like open a door, and you know, here I am like jumping in a pool and like swimming a best time. So
I don't think that what we got out of her the next 2 days was something that anyone had ever thought. Her actually breaking the school record in the 100 back, having gone through everything that she did, that's just remarkable.
It was just, you know, the excitement of the meet and just having my teammates, you know, like they actually believed in me. Like that was kind of our saying at the meet, was believe.
All through our conference championship, one of the things I tried to stress to the women is they got to believe in themselves, they got to believe in each other.
We have this year all 18 girls score. It was extremely rewarding being a leader.
Everyone had a sense of they were contributing to the success of the season.
Last year was just a very sad time when we lost, got second at CAAs, and knew this year we didn't want that feeling again.
I think we all knew that JMU was going to be tough.
We all wanted to win. We all wanted it back.
I wanted to take it back.
Having lost last year to them and then having broken our streak, obviously there was a little bit of that.
I would definitely say that revenge factor played a part in it.
That title belonged to us. James Madison, it wasn't for them.
That's like one of my favorite parts of meets, is like the whole beginning, the whole pump up, like we can do this, like let's go. I think that's one of my strengths personally.
During prelims, we try to do our best to get into finals. Like the main thing is make it into finals.
Our entire focus shifted towards we got to outbeat JMU. We got to get people into finals. We got to get people into finals.
If there's a JMU girl next to you, you get her no matter what, at all costs.
Going into finals, it's kind of a fun meet because you know you made it there, you know you're going to score points.
It was a fight, and it was obviously like the most rewarding meet I've had being here.
Getting second place and breaking up the JMU divers, it really helped our team to be able to get more points for our team and less points for JMU's team. So breaking up the whole clump of JMU was a great feeling.
The 200 free is my favorite event, so I really, really wanted to win this year, and I really wanted it back. I was super nervous right before the race, but I was like, I've done it once already this weekend, so I know I could absolutely do it again. And then I went in 46, and it was great to win.
This year, definitely, I think, having lost last year and then been able to bounce back this year and have it be so close, this is a special group of women. You remember standing on the pool deck with Maureen, barring a disqualification, some crazy thing happening. I can remember standing there with Maureen saying, wow, this feels pretty good.
When we knew that we had the title locked up, I can't tell you how many tears there were. We were all ecstatic, jumping up and down, giving each other hugs.
Everyone was crying, and it was, I think, unlike a moment I've ever had in my entire life.
Just looked at each other and we were like, we won.
There were still races going on, just got us so much more pumped up. You could see just the crowds of people just standing by the pool.
We had a timing malfunction. You know, they started playing music and the JMU girls started dancing and everything. And I was like, well, you know, this would be kind of funny. You know, I'll jump in with them. And so, you know, Zach Stone came over and pulled me over, and we started doing, I don't know what the dance was. We started doing that, and everyone kind of got a kick out of that.
It was crazy. It was exciting and
just a completely overwhelming feeling, knowing that here we've been training since the end of conferences last year to take back that title, and we got it.
It was a sense of relief, a sense of pride, knowing that we were able to kind of bounce back.
The seniors were like losing it, and it's an incredible experience.
Definitely as a senior, that is something that you want to leave with, is winning a conference championship. To be able to be a part of, you know, like the rebuilding of that was just really special.
Everyone was together and working towards it to take it for us. And it really felt like the women's team together actually got it.
It definitely was a team effort throughout the year.
Putting the ring on is going to be the best feeling. I'm so excited for it.
10, 15 years down the road is when you pull those rings out, you look at them, and you remember all the memories, you remember the funny stories.
Oh, this one definitely holds more weight. This one is way more rewarding.
Rewarding.
I think it's going to probably feel like the best ring that I put on.
I know that I did contribute to the first one, absolutely, but I didn't really understand the real significance of it until you have it and you lose it. This ring means a lot to me, so I'm just excited to put it on.
I think it's just going to make it all more real, putting the ring on, being able to see it on your finger. We all know that it happened, but it's still kind of surreal.
Icing on the cake of, yes, we did it, we are the champions.